Today, I'm going to absolutely destroy this pile.
Now his most recent drama is with me, and he accused me of being a grooming minors and doing meetups with the intent to groom, which in general is complete bullshit.
Nativefall finally responded after 2 weeks of being told about this investigation, 1 week of it being out, and I'm actually not upset about his response video at all, despite it randomly labeling me as a since, thankfully, these are the world's easiest to disprove lies, and he tries to pull manipulation tactics so dumb and blatant. You'd have to be under the age of 10 to fall for this, and frankly, almost nobody is falling for this.
Unfortunately, I have to respond to these allegations before I go, including the fact this is actually one of the first times I ran into a genuine terrible person.
So to be honest, unlike the other one, which is super serious, this video is going to be kind of fun to make. He not only lies every few seconds to the point where I'm counting it up like a Cinema Sins video, but he's often contradicting himself. Like at some point he says he had a strange Discord bug, which is why he sent to a minor.
Unfortunately at the time, I was using my phone to respond, and there was this Discord glitch where you press on a GIF and a random GIF you never pressed on was sent. Unfortunately, an inappropriate picture of Rouge the Bat was sent.
But later shows a DM where he specifically says it was an intentional joke, also saying he deleted it because he knew it felt wrong. And this is only an example instance of these inconsistencies and super blatant attempts at manipulation.
And no, I was not trying to send to minors or groom minors because, in general, kids annoy the shit out of me.
Also, if you're not this bug doesn't exist, okay? I've looked high and low for it. It doesn't exist, but we'll get into all this later. Also, he includes in the very beginning,
"This is the instrument of your liberation."
Posting this, trying to call me a pedophile, not because this character's a minor, but because raccoons have an average lifespan of 2 to 3 years. Holy fucking shit. This guy is so Also, he puts the young tag, I don't even know what website this could be from, dismissing the fact that I literally just Googled anime raccoon, which, is it not obvious enough? It's because my PNG avatar or whatever is a literal raccoon.
This part almost seems like you made it out of jealousy because people like the simplistic design of my OC.
In his response, he actually ignored almost all of my criticisms, really even touching on the subject of sending minors, not even once mentioning the Mobius Zone, the server he co-owned with Matt Has No Cuts and promoted.
So checking out my Twitter, joining in Discord, the Mobius Zone.
Make sure to join the Discord server down below. It's called the Mobius Zone,
where a majority of all this happened, and there's so much evidence and accounts from. Have you personally witnessed Native posting the Mobius Zone?
Yes. On quite a few occasions.
Yeah, I've witnessed Nativefall posting on multiple occasions throughout the server.
And I remember him when the server got purged, like when it was getting like hacked and stuff, he was spamming it and like streaming it in VC.
So I, on the other hand, will be generous enough to Native to disprove every single point he brings up in his video without skipping even a single one. Because while his video was supposed to be a character attack on me, with all the context I'm about to give, he actually makes me look really good and proves everything I've been saying is consistent. So thank you.
There was this post from Luke Station said that I sent him actual and I knew he was 16. And yes, I knew he was 16.
We got him.
And you could probably already tell, but unlike how the first video was very serious in tone, this one will be much less so, because it's going to be my final time Exodia obliterating Nativefall before I go back to Sonic News and he goes back to gooting to Tails and Cream.
I do not remember posting Cream pictures, but it seems like I have.
The goal of this video is to prove that I'm acting in good faith, so I will now show and acknowledge every single criticism he has of me, and again, I won't even skip past the dumbest ones, because I want to be totally fair to him, unlike he was to me.
The Sonic Show, who was also known to stir up controversy with other YouTubers and manipulate people because of his huge audience he paid for.
Also, I want to talk about some of the stuff that has come up after my video dropped, because yes, more victims who are minors have come forward with proof, with a new 16-year-old from the Sonic community who he also sent gifts of Rouge sucking to, as well as the kicker, sending Cream getting to this minor as well. Also, you were certainly already aware of this when you clicked on it, but this video is extremely long. Native just rambled on things without evidence, but since I'm adding evidence to everything, it extends the time a lot, and this is pretty unprecedented for me to drop this length of videos, so there will be chapters below if you want to skip around. And for transparency, since Native's somehow, while losing subs, gone up over 2,500 followers on his Goon account, and is directly profiting from the small section of freaks who saw my first video,
Looks like the freak wants to play.
while I will be absolutely annihilating this today, I will be censoring everything much more than the first one, as that got age restricted. But with this one, with how much time I put into this, I will be putting ads on it, as I have literally barely slept to grind this out in less than 1 week. And with it being 50 minutes long and all the editing that went into this, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty proud of it. And with these two videos combined, I've unironically probably spent more than 50 hours making these. So sit back, because I have put together an absolute treat for you all to enjoy. In fact, let's change up the music to be more fitting. Ready? So to get right into it, within the first 2 seconds of the video, he shows this.
And what is this?
Later explaining it with this.
But unlike you, I'm not going out of my way to show to my minor audience.
Which will address the other ones, because he hilariously tries to twist this as which is literally just a skin texture file. This is just the texture of skin. And ironically, while to this day, I've never seen that Maria model, I don't even know what it looks like, Native has a Maria model naked and downloaded and was saying it's a skin texture to defend it in the SonicTuber server where he's banned from sending. Like, you can't make this up. Nonetheless, the other ones, which are even more ridiculous, but Native tries to Uno reverse card his own allegations, saying, actually, you sent minors too. However, this ripping out of context and fake blurring is hilarious to me, because not only is the image I sent in the SonicTuber server not, and I'll show the uncensored one in a second, but if you notice, he also blurs the top of the image too, which has literally nothing but a ceiling. And the reason he did this was to manipulate and hide that this image was created by Nativefall. That's right. And if you look at the full context above and below, not only is it not, but it's me making fun of Native for being a gooner, something he was frequently made fun of by basically everyone, since this was before we knew it went much further than a quote past of making NSFW, with even Matt joining in on the joke.
Well, first of all, like, I'm not even in Discord servers with NSFW channels, because I don't really mess with that stuff.
And in the original screenshot, he's saying, oh, can you delete what Sonic Show posted? Not because it's NSFW, but because he's ashamed that it's his own art. Regardless of that context, it's still not even, which is in stark contrast to him sending actual to minors, starting with lewd stuff and escalating to, yeah, straight up one of the most common groomer tactics.
Sonic Show and the other people who investigated this situation believes I was grooming Luke Station, which is completely false.
Something in my video I actually never accused you of, as I just said you sent to minors, and maybe it was alluded, but I never called you that. However, now that we're on the topic, yes, I would say this behavior of seeing if they're going to react or even reciprocate and send stuff back falls under grooming. Like, what else do you call sending to multiple minors directly? No joke, no meme. Like, what else is this? And I'll get to his excuse in a second, because it's actually insane.
This Discord glitch where you press on a GIF and a random GIF you never pressed on was sent.
But one thing that's important is Native uses the fact that Luke, a 16-year-old, sent a meme edit of Asura from Sonic Frontiers as an excuse for this.
On December 29th, Luke Station randomly sent me a picture of a huge from an enemy from Sonic Frontiers. I reacted 5 minutes later with a joke reaction.
Your Honor, the miner sent me a Frontiers meme. I had to send him a non-meme gif of Roo sucking, okay? I just had to. What else is a bunny to do? I had no other options.
What the f is this? Why did he even bring this up? Because now he gave himself a third possibility of why he sent Luke. Is it A, you said it was like a bug or an accident that this happened?
This Discord glitch.
B, a joke and you felt bad about it knowing it was wrong? C, you did it because he sent it and you were just reciprocating? Or maybe it's D, you're a pedophile and you wanted to engage a relationship with him. Also, you very conveniently don't mention the fact that the same day Luke tweeted out that you sent him a gif of Roo sucking dick, you went to DMs that were over 6 months old and edited them to change the context, unaware that people can see when you edited a text just by hovering over the word edited, and you spent around an hour going through and deleting and editing messages to try and make yourself look better. Something you've done to multiple people, including, yes, me as well. But we'll get into all that later. For now, let's stick to the topic at hand. Even Luke, who, like most people who are groomed, initially are like, oh, what? No, I wasn't groomed. Kind of like the Chris Tyson victim, eventually looked it up and did his own research and came to the conclusion that he thinks he was groomed. Because Native sending it and pressuring him to reciprocate is not only super inappropriate, but this is generally what most grooming situations look like. It's even one-to-one exactly what happened with the Chris Tyson thing.
There are too many of these obvious blatant lies in the video, and it's kind of insane.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Native. Now, moving on to the next lie.
Also, I do not appreciate the fact that my accusers for years has gone out of the way to promote my NSFW account and or NSFW in general to their minor audiences, and then accusing me of doing such things, even though I have never attempted to sway my audience to find such things.
And this is the really interesting one because not only have I never promoted his NSFW in any way, in any format ever, but personally, I'm quite repulsed by it, as you'll see why later in the video. However, the clip he tries to take out of context next, again, is another one that makes me look good.
So do you like acknowledge that, or do you accept in your videos that like you have like a past or like kind of a present maybe?
I don't acknowledge it. I don't.
It's
I keep it separate.
You should.
Like, the thing is like, since some audience are like kids, I was like, I don't bring that up because there's kids around.
Which this is cut together in
a totally not manipulative and disingenuous way.
However, I'll show the full context and totally doesn't remove the biggest chunk of what Nativefall was saying, which by the way, was in reference to him making models, something he admitted literally seconds before the clip began. Oh, and the way he cut it after is so sneaky.
Roll it.
Vanilla the Rabbit's finally getting some love, but where's Officer Topaz?
It's there. Gotta look.
That's your job. You're the 3D model guy, and you need to start getting on.
I know because I know because there's a model out, 3D model out there I could show you, but yeah.
Did you make it?
It's there. It's there. It's got
there.
look.
Just don't look. Don't look who created it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The voice changed.
So now let's play the clip Native showed, but unlike him, I'm not going to cut it at all since you'll tell pretty quickly he removed all the parts that make him look bad.
Roll it.
Oh yeah.
So do you like acknowledge that, or do you accept in your videos that like you have like a past or like kind of a present maybe?
I don't acknowledge it. I don't.
It's
I keep
funny.
it separate.
You should.
I keep it separate sometimes. Like the last time I acknowledged it was like a year ago, and I kept it separate ever since. Like,
Did you get like 3 comments that bullied you over it, and you were like, never again?
Well, it was like, this is just like past is the past, or just like I separate that because
it's not the past though. You still got that dog in you. You still that horny ass dude.
I still got the dog in me. Like the thing is like. Since some of my audience are like kids, I was like, I don't bring that up because there's kids around.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you have a good idea. Maybe you made the right choice.
But it must just be a huge coincidence that Nativefall conveniently cut out all the parts that make him look bad and show the context of me memeing on him, even saying it's funny and cringy. He admits it's in the past. But the thing is, it wasn't in the past.
Past is the past. Or just like I separate that because
it's not the past though. You still got that dog in you.
And the way he clipped this, that alone was so disingenuous. Especially when the context is, I'm memeing on Native for being a total gooner freak, but yet he tries to paint this like,
I'm saying you should show your audience.
Well, I'm saying you should own up to it, you f***ing weirdo. And even in the clip, he does the same tactic he does in his video where he tries to paint it as,
oh, it was in the past.
Past is the past.
And even there, on my birthday, June 23rd, you could tell by the top, where I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm a little tipsy. I still call him out on his bull.
It's not the past though. You still got that dog in you.
There are too many of these obvious blatant lies in the video, and it's kind of insane.
Next, I want to touch on the cream thing, as that was probably the biggest point in my entire video, but Native puts it in the last minute of his. And this is the only mention of it.
I do not remember posting cream pictures, but it seems like I have.
Which is a terrible excuse when it was only from 2023, and there's proof of you seeing that weird vanilla and cream comic. In the same server, I found this comic one post before a Native pin, meaning there is a 100% chance he saw this and ignored it, as well as posting other pictures of cream that you don't mention. But the day I wrote the script for my initial video, he posted Amy f***ing Tails. And according to him, a year before that, he said, removing that Tails shit off the internet.
As I realized keeping content up like that on an abandoned page with my name on it is not good, and letting other people use it was stupid. But unfortunately, I realized that too late.
And he keeps saying this claim that, oh, my page was abandoned, which no, it wasn't.
On an abandoned page with my name on it is not good.
No good.
It's not good. Or that my server was abandoned.
One of the last things mentioned in Sonic Show's video was the fact he was talking about my dead NSFW server. That was made all the way back in 2021.
And again, he was very active there. No, it's not. There's so many receipts. And in the course of less than a month, around 100 people joined. I mean, mean, does that sound like a dead server to you? In fact, in this video, he doesn't want to reference the Llama Jama account, which was a huge crux of my video, since he literally pulled a Midori and was dumb enough to trace it back. In fact, he even claims this.
Also, you mentioned that when you press on my bio, it has a link to my NSFW account, and saying that I was promoting to anyone who pressed on my profile, and anyone can see it, NSFW or not, which is completely not true.
When no, I've never claimed this. I obviously know how Discord works, hence why he doesn't have a clip of it. And he covered up the link to make himself look better. But the whole reason I brought up the link in your bio wasn't because it was in other servers, I never claimed that, but because it proves you are Llama Jama, and it's only one of many pieces of proof. On Nativefall's main official Discord account, the only link he has in his bio is his Twitter, which he's renamed from Nativefall to Llama Jama.
I suspect that you, Light Yagami, are in fact Kira.
Now, the lie that's by far the most manipulative and clearly just trying to garner any sympathy Nativefall can possibly get is he claims this.
There are reasons why you use my face in a video, even though you know I'm not a fan of my face being anywhere else other than personal things. Because that picture was taken at Sonic Fan Jam in Atlanta, Georgia in 2022.
Something that's so easily disprovable. One, because if you remember when Nativefall shouted out the Mobius Zone.
Also checking out my Twitter, joining in Discord, the Mobius Zone.
You can see in both his pinned tweet and one of his most recent tweets on the media tab, 2 separate selfies of him, not even including that as I was researching this doc, he even posted this as one of his most recent pictures, which he has since gone and deleted all the pictures of his face. But while he provides no evidence for anything, I can even provide evidence of the deleted tweets through Social Blade. Nonetheless, he literally has this out in his videos, and I'm pretty sure you can download it.
3, 2, 1.
But on to the next lie.
Because that picture was taken at Sonic Fan Jam in Atlanta, Georgia in 2022.
As well as the fact that in the Sonic Tuber meetup photo, which he shows, and for some reason covered up my name with my channel, what? You can see the only face that was blocked out was Xpool's, and that's because he actually doesn't want to show his face. However, Nativefall shows his face everywhere, infinitely more than I have. But what he says next is so dumb, I think even you watching this won't even need an explanation for this one.
Where it was one of the first and only times I've ever met any of you. There was no problem throughout the entire time I was there, and we was legit having fun. But all of a sudden, a year later, when there was false allegations being thrown at me, saying that I'm using my influence to groom minors. And you and everyone else know that's a complete lie.
Well, one, there's actually a lot of evidence of you abusing your responsibility, and two, you just said it was a year later.
But all of a sudden, a year later...
What does this mean? Yeah, this was the first and only time I ever met you. We were all buddies with you, and this was over 6 months before any allegations of you came out. Am I supposed to be like a psychic? Also, even after they did come out, we didn't even turn on you immediately, when a lot of people regret not doing it sooner.
And people will assume that is true immediately, especially for someone who does NSWR and or have a furry profile picture. Sonic Show / Jaden came to me to help make my document response.
Which, quick aside, I literally do love that he used this, because not gonna lie, I actually do think this is pretty funny. Hence why I posted it like less than a week ago. And it is a joke, but Native's kind of proven me right.
Sonic Show / Jaden came to me to help make my document response.
Everyone wanted you to change. In fact, you tried to use this against me when even in my doc and video, I said that we talked a lot and we're friends. And it's true. I did originally help you, and I genuinely wanted the best for you because I thought you were being falsely canceled, something I'm against. But it very quickly turned out you were not being falsely canceled.
There was this post from Luke Station said that I sent him actual and I knew he was 16. And yes, I knew he was 16.
And that you did everything you were being accused of, and that you were lying and manipulating all of us. Hence why of every single person in this photo, I'm on good ties with all except for maybe 1 or 2. But you're friends with none of them because ironically you keep saying,
I'm just gonna say how it is. I'm not no groomer. It's just as simple as that. Including the people who actually know who I am and or not obsessed with controversy know that I'm not too.
But everyone who knows you thinks you're a pedophile.
I'm not no pedo.
And if you're into depictions of boobs, you're probably into boobs. If you're into depictions of you're probably into dicks. And if you're into depictions of kids, what else is there to think? And that's putting aside your actual weird interactions with minors, sending them as well as receiving child something I've never met anyone, and I've asked around creators before the doc, to ever receive. And he even lies about this too.
There was another situation that was told with the fact that the same artist was sending me key links, as pretty much the first time I even DM'd the guy was back in 2021, where his account got hacked in late 2023, a literal 2-year gap. I barely know anything about this guy.
Despite the fact that you can quite literally see his Discord messages with this guy are in between these dates. To fall for this manipulation, you literally would have to have not seen my video or read my doc.
Now, if you're aware of the drama last year regarding of the same topic of this video, there was also an infamous video about Tails from Sonic Prime. I'm going to say this, I did not make this video. This video has my tag on it because at the time, my InstaView page all the way back in 2020, I let others log into my account and use my account to promote their animations and or art for people who don't have a platform to post on.
Which is ironic because yes, he has a photomorphs gallery and nowhere on these do they have a Nativefall watermark, or is he posting them or pretending that they're his at all. In fact, he's made similar photomorphs, but those have no relevancy to this at all. And that's not even including the fact that even after he wiped out the Llama Jama account, he still has the Surge animation pinned, which is in the exact same style in every way as the Tails 9 one. When currently, as of this moment right now, his pinned tweet is another animation in the exact same style as the Sonic Prime one, but this one's with Surge getting pounded by a BBC? And yes, Surge is 16, but that's besides the point.
And who the is Surge the Hedgehog? Who are your research team? You tried to age check me with a character that doesn't even have an age and or not even familiar with, because I've said plenty of times, I do not read the comics.
And since I'm being generous in good faith to Native, I will admit I also don't read the IDW comics. And the only mistake in my entire video is that I said Surge the Hedgehog instead of Surge the Tenrec, which he loves to source random Reddit comments
and manipulate people because of his huge audience he paid for.
Which he shows one saying, I bought the Sonic show? No, I didn't. For the first year of me making videos, I didn't even have my AdSense connected. Jamie got all the money. Also, it was an extremely dead channel, not even when I first got it, but was dead for about the first 2 years of it.
Because of his huge audience he paid for.
And I don't know why every single person who gets in a drama with me tries to bring this up.
You got handed a channel from other people that built it when you were a kid?
Prem and I do way more than you've ever done on your channel. You piggybacked off the success of Sonic Show.
But everyone knows reviving a dead channel is nearly impossible, taking it from 50k to over 190k, especially being a different personality than the original one. So love me or hate me, you gotta give me a little respect for that.
Who are your research team?
Well, apparently Natives is Jigglytoons XXX.
You tried to age check me with a character that doesn't even have an age.
But also, if we want to source random Reddit comments, Surge the Tenrec is 15, and this is at least the top most voted one. Not that that's super solid or anything, but according to Native, if it's said by a random user on Reddit, I guess that's good enough to use as evidence in your video.
I was able to realize that this green thing is Surge the Tenrec and not Surge the Hedgehog. You used a random DeviantArt OC to expose me.
I didn't expose you for drawing Surge, as to this day, it's still up, but that's besides the point, as somehow that's mild in the grand scheme of this whole thing. Rather, I exposed you for sending to multiple minors. Did you forget about that? Also, I love how he plays ignorant, like,
even I knew this green thing.
I was able to realize that this green thing is Surge the Tenrec.
Like you don't have that you made of this character as your banner and pinned tweet. I also think it's funny that he spent way more time talking about the fact that I said Surge the Hedgehog instead of Tenrec than he does about any of the actual accusations.
And who the is Surge the Hedgehog? Who are your research team? You tried to age check me with a character that doesn't even have an age and are not even familiar with, because I've said plenty of times, I do not read the comics. I was able to realize that this green thing is Surge the Tenrec and not Surge the Hedgehog. You used a random DeviantArt OC to expose me. Who the fuck even is this guy? As we continue with Jaden's blatant lies and terrible research.
But let's stay focused. I want to go back to how I manipulated a poor drunk man.
Because I was too stressed and depressed to even think for myself. Especially since I went to one of my IRL best friend's birthday party that day. I was depressed and drunk as but you decided to be a literal definition of a bottom feeder and use my depression and drunkenness to attack two other prominent people in the community who I respected and still respect, and I will not name.
And a lot of things to address with this one. One, it's true, he did call me drunk one of these times, but as he even shows in his own logs, the call was for 6 minutes, and that's because I said, oh, you're drunk? I don't really want to talk. Which you also see in this screenshot that he called me. But otherwise, we talked for hours and hours on hours. Also, depression? No. Rather, rage and fury. He called me screaming, "F these people!" And I'm not going to name them, of course, but he was fuming.
But you decide to be a literal definition of a bottom feeder.
Also, you show the definition on screen, but a bottom feeder earns money. Literally, my video is unmonetized, so you can't even make that accusation of me.
And use my depression and drunkenness to attack 2 other prominent people in the community who I respected and still respect, and I will not name.
Also, again, we were talking for 6 minutes. He's saying I took advantage of his drunkenness, but we were calling for over 7 hours working on this doc. And in that time, he tried to pit me against all of these people who, yeah, are now my friends. And during that time, he fed me so many lies saying everything he drew was when he was a preteen, which we all know obviously is not true, especially with the Prime piece. However, even if you want to believe him on the Prime piece not being made by him, what about the Surge one that's currently pinned, which coincidentally looks 1-to-1 as the Sonic Prime piece he made? But did you make those when you were 13 as well? Which for context, he's 22 right now, but the first comic to feature Surge was in 2021. Nonetheless, Sonic Prime, which its first episode was in 2022.
To attack 2 other prominent people in the community who I respected and still respect, and I will not name.
2, I'm not going to bring up these people either, out of respect. However, again, this message is from one of the people to Native. I don't know if he does respect them, that's cool, but it is not a two-way street. They do not f with him. And the reason they're responding like this is because, ironically, I never tried to attack them, but was set up by you. This is where I cut ties with Native because he used me, he manipulated me, as well as this other party. I was helping him, and not only was he just filling my ears with lies, but he played double agent and spoke to both parties, trying to make us go after each other to create some vindictive beef, which would benefit him since it would push all the attention off of him for this, say it for what it is,
because I was too stressed and depressed to even think for myself.
Which I'll show the full context, and you can even see here. I was trying to help Native. I was even trying to broker a peace deal and have us all get on a call together, and we did. But it's on that call that I found out everyone was told a different story, to which after I confronted Native on, and he even admitted he was lying and had an issue with it. Like, these are his words. Me and basically everyone in this group tried to force him to get therapy, as we genuinely wanted to see him do better. And here's even more context of me being very generous, but saying he definitely needs to get help. With him admitting lying and being very snaky are issues he's aware he has. There was also another party who confronted Native and told him not to lie to his therapist, to which he quote says, "I'm going to talk about everything, including my problem with lying," which, yeah, clearly Native has an issue with.
And you and everyone else know that's a complete lie.
Oh yeah, and these therapy sessions, well, he quit them, despite bragging to Matt that he's making a lot of money, so it can't be because he's broke, as even in the video he says he has a really good job.
There are reasons why my upload schedule has been slowing down, because I'm moving away from YouTube because I got a good job.
To which he also claimed he was calling the police, and shout out this other party for frankly calling him out on his bull, because he immediately folded and when asked to show receipts said, actually I canceled the call. Like, what a an idiot.
But luckily, the people who were getting called out quickly realized that the details were being too specific to be me.
This is a particularly funny fib from Native, since he knows, and I told him at the time, that I was probably exposing myself, but I didn't care because I felt like he was being slandered and I thought it was so messed up. So even though it would give away the fact that I was working on the doc, what mattered the most was helping an innocent person. When in reality, the only messed up thing was what had yet to come out about Native, as you have to keep in mind, this was right before Luke came forward, so the only accusations was that he drew Cream and Tails 9. That was it.
And realized that you were using me to attack them. Your ass got caught and you decided to turn on me immediately.
Which so much for these people you respect, since you're now taking their DMs out of context.
Who I respected and still respect.
But how like we just talked about you manipulating people, notice how these DMs are from July 23rd and the DMs where you admitted to lying to me were from July 24th. Does that not make sense to you?
Your ass got caught and you decided to turn on me immediately to attack 2 other prominent people in the community who I respected and still respect, and I will not name.
And it's so ironic because me and this person are on good terms, but you are not, because you used them and manipulated them to try to get us at each other's throats. And the worst part is, for a brief period, you actually succeeded. Hence why even in the thing where you're trying to apologize for manipulating them, you can see I'm literally talking to them in a call.
Your ass got caught and you decided to turn on me.
Which Native can't seem to decide. Did I turn on you immediately?
Turn on me immediately.
Or did I help you with the doc?
Sonic Show / Jaden came to me to help make my document response.
And he can't be referring to my most recent video, as that was over a year later. Now, the next part is one so ridiculously fabricated. Again, you would have to have not seen my video to believe him.
That's a complete lie. Including the fact that you also mentioned I had a sexy lady sticker on the back of my phone. And yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
And it was Judy Hobbs. And the thing is not straight up.
But 1, it was not this image. 2, I already said it was Judy Hopps. Did you not watch the video? I never said it was a sexy lady. What the f?
Including the fact that you also mentioned I had a sexy lady sticker on the back of my phone.
But let's hear what I actually said. And when we were hanging out, I kept mentioning to Native how weird I thought it was that his phone literally had of the rabbit from Zootopia on it. And I don't mean like on it like his lock screen, which was also, but no, I mean he physically had a sticker of it on the back of his phone that was visible at all time. And 3, the point isn't that I'm canceling you because you look at, but we all just thought it was weird that you went to a convention filled with kids. It's a Sonic the Hedgehog convention, and you visibly had on the outside of your phone. Like, even saying it out loud, does that not seem strange to you? I bet almost nobody watching this has stickers of on their phone, and if they do, you need to like take No Nut November seriously, okay? Something is wrong with you.
Yeah, wait, what's going on?
What did you do?
What, do you like it?
Do I? This is mental illness. You need therapy. Put the phone down.
And the thing is not straight up, and most importantly, it's not a child.
Yeah, no one ever said it was a child. It's that children are looking at it. But that said, it was straight up.
That does not matter, especially since I was not bragging about the fact I had the sticker on the back of my phone.
And what a strange thing to say. No one ever accused you of bragging about having a sticker, dude. What the f?
Also, weren't there literal raunchy Ruse the Bat and other Sonic character stickers, pins, body pillows in the artist gallery for everyone to see?
No, there's actually not Ruse the Bat. That's Eggman and Big the Cat. And it's also not lewd or raunchy. It's clearly a joke body pillow. How were people on Native's side? I refuse to believe these are not bots.
Including that there was a literal NSFW artist there at the booth, and I've told you about it.
And I've asked around to basically everyone who I know that's there. I have no clue what this could even possibly be of. Is this a statue? Is this art? Honestly, I'm mostly distracted by the fact that he can't spell extreme. But Native just makes claims with no receipts. Like, you told me about it? What?
And I've told you about it.
Then show the conversation.
Including that there was a literal NSFW artist there at the booth.
Also, no, as I walked around every single booth at the artist alley, I talked to every artist. There was no NSFW art. They didn't just have kids walking around and then right there. No.
Because I've always denied from my server, as there was literally only one guy who was now banned was asking for a Sage server.
Which one, if you watch the video, you would know these were 2 separate deleted users, and they weren't banned from your server. Those guys were actually banned from Discord, hence the deleted user. What if I told you the entire photo gallery was begging for a Sage channel, referring to Sage from Sonic Frontiers, and you can probably imagine the kind of art they want. And Native turned them down, not on posting Sage, but on having a dedicated Discord channel to it, to which he essentially said, hey, that's an underage character, so it's a bad look. Just post it in the general Sonic channel, as if that's somehow better. And a second hand, they are not the only ones asking,
as there was literally only one guy who was now banned.
Your mod Gamma was also asking, literally right under the messages you cropped. And a third hand, but even in the screenshots you show,
you even said I even denied the request. And I've never said post it in Sonic General. I just said do not post it at all.
You quite literally are giving them the okay to post it in the Sonic chat. Like, you even put the chat logs out of order to try to manipulate it. But this is one you cannot twist.
And I've never said post it in Sonic General. I just said do not post it at all.
Nativefall writes, Cream is not really allowed either, but people still upload it. To which deleted user 1 writes, would you give your okay on a Sage channel though? And Nativefall literally writes, just use the Sonic channel. If you're gonna lie and manipulate, don't even put the screenshot in your video. Just ignore it like Llama Jama, the Mobius Zone, and all the other things you ignored.
And I've never said post it in Sonic General. I just said do not post it at all.
Also, to prove my own point, in a response to E102 Gamma, one of Nativefall's head mods, who he even sources in his own video,
one of my mods,
one of the deleted users writes, most of the NSFW art in Sonic Characters Worship is of the younger Sonic characters, which is true. I would say it's mostly of the younger Sonic characters such as Tails, Cream, and a lot of Maria, who is a human, but I actually think that makes it worse. Now, who is posting all of this art? We'll get into in just a second.
And to add on to the fact, there are so many people who followed me for years, didn't even know I did NSFW because they know I was not trying to promote any of that. They only figured it out because of you.
Which technically is true. I don't think 100% every single audience member that watches you knew you were doing, nonetheless, one's depicting minors. And I think my exposed video exposed that. That's kind of the point. You're a danger around minors. Did you not watch it?
There are so many people who followed me for years.
Also, I have no clue who that is with the Masato profile picture. But the guy on the bottom is one of the people that joined during Native's Discord raid, which yes, he he raided my server and was posting weird and lewd images, and I had a ban. This isn't some like innocent soul. It's in fact one of Native's cronies, who Native sent over to try to make my server look as bad as possible. But my mods were super on top of everything, and I'm happy to say he failed, despite the fact that this is the most people that have ever joined it once without there being any promo, mention, or I didn't even link it in my most recent video. So even despite all of that, he still had to go to 2021 to find the most mild stuff, and it's actually really ironic.
Especially since you're very active in your huge Safe for Work YouTube server and letting underage diaper fart in your server. You saw it because you reacted right under the post, and it's still there to this day.
When he tries to say that this fart joke is which it obviously isn't. And to give him credit, it's about just as funny as any other fart joke in the sense that it's not really funny at all. I think even by the time I reached like 4th or 5th grade, I thought fart jokes were pretty unfunny. But did you also catch what he tried to throw in there?
Underage.
Where'd you even get that from? You're just throwing in buzzwords for the fuck of it now. But on the contrary, in his server, his head mod, who he censors the name out really poorly in his video,
to the point where my mods basically took over the server and started adding channels.
And you can still tell the profile picture is him. But E102 Gamma, Native's head mod, is posting stuff like this. And that's the quote-unquote random pixelated footage that I showed.
We decided to show random pinned messages saying that I pinned cream, which again is not true.
Which again is true. He definitely did this. I have receipts. I don't know why he says I did it. Even at one point says I didn't click on it.
Including the fact that you didn't even check what those pins even led to.
I assure you I did click on it. Otherwise, it could have been a pin of literally anything. Duh. But in regards to the pixelated footage, I'm not going to let him distract me.
We decided to show random pinned messages.
One, these aren't pinned messages, and you know that because pinned messages look very different, and it's like a tiny little window in the top right. And two, he ignores the entire point, and as you'll see in a second, intentionally tries to remove the context of what I was saying.
Including the fact that you're saying that I pinned Cream the Rabbit. We decided to show random pinned messages saying that I pinned Cream, which again is not true.
Now, here's where Native outs himself for being a terrible manipulator, because in my entire video, and he's been showing it up until now, even without the audio, you can tell exactly what I'm saying because I hard-coded captions into the video. And a lot of people were like, why did you do that? This is the exact reason I did it, so you could not take me out of context. Although this was a cute little attempt. So, one, you did pin Cream the Rabbit. Let's get that factually out of the way. And two, this is from the section I was talking about Gamma, your mod.
One of my mods,
who, correct, has posted a load of all this of these minors, and dozens and dozens at a time. I don't even know how you could argue like I didn't see it, as there is nothing else to see in these channels. And both the massive spam of Maria and the separate massive spam of Cream were exclusively all posted by Gamma, your lead mod. And Native deleted the message, but obviously he can't wipe my side where I confronted him on it. But he claimed that Gamma was transferred server ownership, to which I called him out on his bullshit and said, no, I literally have a plugin to see who it is. I can tell. It's Llama Jama, your alt. And strangely, Llama Jama doesn't get mentioned once in his entire response video.
Like saying one of my mods got banned off of Discord because of a yellow exclamation mark. Wow, Jaden, look here, you have one too. What did you do to get banned off of Discord?
I'll tell you exactly what I did. I made a video covering you. A lot of your server was like, oh my god, he's still in here, Native! And you banned me immediately, despite me not banning any of your cronies unless they started causing trouble, and even then, I was pretty generous to them, as you can see from my chat logs. And Native knows this, but almost everything in my video was from 2024 and 2023. I only dug through the very surface level of your server, and if I were to do nearly the same level of digging you did, going all the way back to 2021, you know I would find some crazy shit in there.
What did you do to get banned off of Discord?
Also, I love that he keeps bringing up the same image like 30 times in this video, even though he's fully aware that he is the creator of it, so he knows for a fact that it isn't. To which Luke, the person he's citing,
including the fact that I have a screenshot, and better yet, with the same person you assumed I was grooming.
Even sources saying I didn't send and that I don't make NSFW jokes in general, while Nativefall had to prevent himself from making them, which is true. I make a very adamant effort, because I'm aware of my young audience, I am a Sonic tuber, to not even make inappropriate jokes, despite being, I'm not gonna lie, pretty edgy. To which lastly, Luke also states in response to someone saying, bro was trying to use Discord glitches to justify it. Didn't he literally edit the message as well? Still doesn't deter from the fact that he refused to delete it as well, right? And Luke responds, he did the send and delete thing a little too often for me to believe that. I did not think it was an accident when it first happened, so take that how you will.
Since I'm not so active on the server and people are posting on the channel all the time, I am stuck from where I last left off.
Which is another terrible excuse considering he was never not active in this server and to this day is. By the fact that he still does NSFW art to this day, has an active Twitter account for it, as well as a Discord for his NSFW that he's very active in. Also, he claimed privately and publicly that he transferred ownership, and that's not true. In fact, even though he deleted his DMs, you can still see me confronting him about it and showing proof. Whether it was on his main account or the alt that he switched to and then went back on his main account, there has never been a significant period in this server where Native was not active.
That you were even helping me respond to the allegations at all, including the messages that you were even manipulating me and my depression and drunkenness to emotionally abuse someone that I respected in the community.
Which, wow, cool buzzwords there, buddy. And he's not wrong about the deleting messages part. But what he conveniently leaves out is that he did the same thing he did to Luke to me, going back and selectively editing and deleting messages to try to change the context and manipulate what happened. As in some of them, he had literally confessed to every lie he made, which I still have at least 2 DMs with 2 different sources, me being one of them, where he does confess he has a problem with lying. So because of him selectively deleting and editing our messages, I in fact confronted him an entire week before my video and doc came out, purely out of respect, and in it I literally told him I'm deleting our messages solely so that you can't try to take them out of context like you did with me, Luke, Matt, and so many others. And even with these wipe DMs, you still attempted it, albeit very badly. However, next is my favorite part of Nativefall's entire video.
By the way, Jaden, aka Sonic Show, joined this server a month before the call out post happened. He was not investigating because he just simply wanted to join.
Dude, I want to jerk off! And don't worry, I'll touch on Simon in a second, as that's what makes Native saying this so hilarious. But let's start with how I even got in this server, which yes, he doesn't mention it, but the server and channel this is posted in is NSFW. I have to give a little context first, but the context itself is also kind of funny because
he just simply wanted to join.
I didn't want to join. I had no clue what this was. And despite me telling Native I archived our DMs and him wiping it, I think he thinks the evidence of this is gone, but it's not. He sent me a server invite link and I specifically said, "What is this?" And he wrote, "My server, you PP." And with a name like the photo gallery and a profile picture of Native's icon, initially I just assumed this was his server since that's what he told me. Not to mention, this was almost a month before he got outed.
A month before the call out post happened.
So him saying, "Why would you join if you think it's full of p***s?"
Also, if you were investigating, why would you help me make a response doc if you think everyone in the server are p***s?
I didn't. Why would I assume your server is full of p***s? Oh wait, never mind. It's because you are one.
I didn't care about my NSFW page because I put full focus on my YouTube.
So when he tries to claim it's in the past, I left the NSFW community. Him sending me a link during this time actively proves that's not true at all.
He also claims that my NSFW server that exists exclusively for my NSFW account is my YouTube server.
Which I wish he had a clip or anything because, spoiler alert, I never said that. Why would I think his server is his main server? In fact, the investigation is of the server. Should I investigate the main one too? I mean, with what I know about Native posting in Mobius Zone.
It's not just Mobius Zone, there's been plenty of other servers we've been to.
Which was public, was promoted in YouTube videos, and was for kids. Were the channels he posted these in at least NSFW ones?
No.
Oh no, the Mobius Zone was 100% safe for work.
So checking out my Twitter, joining a Discord, the Mobius Zone.
Then maybe I should investigate your normal server.
As for a fact, the same link that's been there since day one, my real YouTube server, Sonic Fell Over, is a safe for work Discord server where no is even allowed.
Which again, I never thought he would post his server on his YouTube. In fact, that's against TOS. You would literally get banned if you did that.
Including the fact that it's really rare to join my NSFW server, because the links to the server are rare to come by.
However, it is linked on his Twitter, which was called Nativefall O, the O standing for official, but he's not going to address that. Is a Sonic Twitter of his account called Nativefall Official. Yes, both of his accounts were called Nativefall, his Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube username, with his safe for work one being Nativefall S and the other one being Nativefall O, probably because he named it to Llama Jama and refuses to bring up that name once in his entire video.
My real YouTube server, Sonic Fell Over, is a safe for work Discord server where no is even allowed.
And he also sent me a link to his SFW server later, also not explaining it, just sending me a random link, which the first one at least had a profile picture of Nativefall. The second one was called Sonic Fell fell over and had a picture of Sonic. I was like, why does this motherfucker keep sending me Discord server invites? But with that context out of the way of how I got into this degenerate heathen server, let's talk about Simon, my favorite part of his entire video. And I love that Native put this in the thumbnail because with the context I'm about to provide, this might be the ultimate Uno reverse card ever.
By the way, Jaden, aka Sonic Show, joined this server a month before the call-out post happened. He was not investigating because he just simply wanted to join. I wanna check out!
Now, this is my favorite for a few reasons. The first being, again, this is Native's server, so you can't claim I was sending this to minors unless you're saying your server is full of minors. And two, the artist who made this piece is a guy named Nativefall. You might have heard of him. He's banned from many Discord servers filled with kids because he loves to send and I'm literally making fun of him saying,
"Found this awesome art. I love it. Can anyone help me find the artist?"
And privately, and every Sonic creator who's interacted with Native knows this, but he's really embarrassed by the fact that this is his own art because he is unironically attracted to Simon the Chipmunk. So by you putting it in your video and thumbnail, now I get to tell the entire world that you're a freak who's turned on by Simon the Chipmunk. Do you know how insane that is? And you're admitting it in your own video, especially when I never mentioned or alleged this. And while you being into Cream is definitely creepy, you being into Simon is just as hilarious as it is weird. Again, this is pure gold, easily my favorite part of his response.
Jaden, aka Sonic Show.
And another reason I love this is because he claims this.
Also, if you were investigating, why would you help me make a response doc if you think everyone in the server are
I wasn't investigating you for a year plus. I might be crazy, but I'm not that crazy. 2, you literally show the date in your video, which you know was almost an entire month before you got outed, and we all know that was July 22nd where the really bad stuff came out, and I literally had to stop defending you with me cutting the bridge on the 24th of July, and this post being in June. And even when I was helping you before the 24th, it's solely because I believed you. I thought you were telling the truth, and that's what I would do for any friend who I think is unfairly being canceled. I mean, hell, a lot of the people who hate me solely hate me because I saw Sonic Omen's devs being wrongly canceled for a weird decision that a Ukrainian girl who's not even on their team made. And with all the lies in the doc, I felt obligated to speak the truth. A pretty consistent pattern in my career, and I'll touch on the video that you tried to weaponize against me.
I started making videos for the Sonic Show about almost exactly 1 year ago.
Which ironically proves, since the very beginning, even right when I started in the Sonic Show, I've been super consistent with these values.
I reserve them not to just attack people who are doing nothing like she says, but people who do deserve it, and people who've done really wrong and awful things, and I'm going to reserve that right. If I see someone in the Sonic community doing something so awful and horrific and wrong, I'm not afraid to say something about it, which I don't think will happen that often. There's not that many awful people in the community.
A clip from that video that literally proves exactly what I'm saying, and I know you try to clip out the context where I said,
currently there are 0 drama videos I've made public.
What the f is this piece of shit?
But I don't even know why, because you can tell from the upload date this was made in 2020, and yeah, only one of those videos even existed at the time, and like I say in the video,
currently there are 0 drama videos I've made public.
It was currently unlisted because I like to give everyone a second chance, and I gave Gamer Guide of all people one, to which I ended up relisting it after he showed his true colors and stabbed me in the back. But even then, I don't even regret giving him a second chance in the case that he didn't end up stabbing me in the back.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Also, one of those is just a random recent Sonic news video. It's not even drama. Are you really reaching that hard? You couldn't find anything? Like, come on. Kishimoto liking 1 or 2 bad things on Twitter is drama to you? At least put the Omens controversy in there, okay? I'll just own that. He just keeps rambling off lies with literally no evidence or even clips of me saying stuff, unlike I'm doing to him, making my video much longer than his. So let's just speedrun these next lies.
Lightning round.
Another accusation of grooming was the fact that Jaden was saying that I was also trying to groom Matt Has No Cuts.
This just isn't even true. I never said you groomed Matt. I did say you sent him, which you've done multiple times. However, you mentioned the one single piece you'd never deleted, and I sent this clip to Matt to see what he said, as he is the victim, asking, is this context true?
During this time in 2022, he was the owner of the server, and someone asked me to ask Matt if this GIF was considered appropriate to post in the server. Nothing more and nothing less.
And Matt writes, no, not true in the slightest. Mans just sent me that randomly as a joke. That's why I didn't respond.
There's a reason why there's no response after this post, because we were in a VC call in the Mobius Zone.
And I would love to see proof of this Mobius Zone VC, as not only is this the only mention of the Mobius Zone, the place promoted by Sonic tubers that Native's banned from after being a co-owner because he kept sending there.
He'd post and delete, yeah. That's like the best way to say it.
Yeah, I've witnessed Nativefall posting on multiple occasions throughout the server.
Which is also completely false, because Matt himself saying that I was never ever even trying to groom him.
Again, never said you groomed Matt. This is actually one of the biggest focuses in his video, despite me not ever saying it. Although, as Matt also said,
he basically does this like kind of bad joke where like he posts quick of like Amy or Rouge or Cream or whatever female Sonic character and then quickly deletes it, but everyone sees it and is like freaked out about it. It's like a shock value joke. He thinks it's funny, but it's not. It's just kind of weird and makes everyone awkward in the call. So he would do that a lot in Mobius Zone, and you can find plenty, and I mean plenty of witnesses, because this guy did it in like fully public chats.
But in Native's mind,
oh, I sent and deleted the which means it's a-okay.
No, it doesn't. Just because you deleted it after they saw it and reacted doesn't make it good or okay.
Nothing more and nothing less.
But I didn't delete the gif of Bounty Amy. I just deleted the real.
Congratulations, you kept the one that isn't and was just used as an example. I know I said it rhetorically earlier, but this guy might actually be retarded.
And you can't be calling me a when you do this in your Safe for Work YouTube server, where I know there are minors there too.
And this is so bad faith because, again, I'm warning someone that even though that's not NSFW, you can't post that or I'll ban you. To which I'm pretty sure I ended up banning this user. Although he censored their name, so I don't even know who this is. And another thing, that's an animation test. It's literally not you idiot. Spoiler alert, Rouge has cleavage, but every piece of media she appears in isn't automatically NSFW. In fact, this like isn't even lewd in the slightest. It was purely a model animation test. There's nothing you can even take from this. And what's even more bad faith is that if you look one message up, you can tell I'm in a VC with all adults, by the way. One of them was even at their job. And the context that we were talking about, the fact that it's 18 seconds long and it has 2.7 million views. It's like the ugliest animation ever. It's not attractive. In fact, from the description, I believe it's a GTA 5 model. And the fact that it has so many views is like jaw-dropping to me. And my server is much more hard to manage than his, because while his has 700 members, mine has around 4,500, which in case you can't math, that's over 600% more. And even with all those members, me and my very small team of mods have done a really good job at clearing anyone out that's even slightly causing problems or posting anything weird. Hence why Native and his goons had to go back to 2021 to find literally anything. And what they found was quite literally nothing. And honestly, I kind of like that they try to expose me for that, because if this is the worst they can find, I must be pretty clean. His response probably only took 1 or 2 days to make. He spent the rest of the week just digging through my server looking for any crumbs he could find.
And you can't be calling me a pedo when you do this in your Safe for Work YouTube server, where I know there are minors there too.
You can't get mad at me for posting because you post stuff that isn't like, you're such a idiot, dude.
There was another situation that was told with the fact that the same artist was sending me P links,
as well as the fact that he received C and lied about the account being hacked, which is a brand new revelation to me. Something he's never said in any of his other explanations of it.
This artist was hacked and he got corrupted.
He got corrupted? What? Like spiritually? What does that mean?
A similar situation happened to my Twitter account. If you press on a survey on any links, they will spam people's DMs. This is exactly what is happening here.
Despite the fact that one is a weird .ru link and the others are Instagram scams. Like, come the on. Do you think we're that stupid?
This link has been dead for a really long time, as I checked it on Dr. Link Check. So I don't care if the link was shown, because it's not going to show anything.
Which, this is such a weird argument, and it literally doesn't make sense to me, because okay, if the link doesn't work, then why aren't you showing it? I'm not going to show it because I haven't tested. I have no clue if it works or not, and I'm not going to test. But if you're so certain it doesn't work and you say there's no problem with showing it, then why aren't you showing it? At this point, we're like 50 minutes in. I think it's pretty well established you're a pathological liar, so frankly, I'm not going to take a single bit of anything you say. For all I know, that link is totally active. And we'll do a super speed round, because honestly, this video is getting really long, but there's still a handful of smaller things Native brings up that, to be good faith, I feel like I should answer, or else he's going to be like, you actually skip this. So let's do it. He shows these Fat Sonic and Amy drawings, one from 2022, one from 2023. He actually doesn't talk about them at all in the video. He just shows them in the intro for like 3 seconds, but this is the one time I almost feel like I don't have to explain it. Even the replies on the call-out poster saying this clearly seems like a joke, and it obviously is. It's not. I don't know why he censored the Amy one. Here's the uncensored. And you can see around, there's nothing bad here, unless stomachs apparently are porn, in which case Nikocato's entire back catalog is about to be wiped. He also mentions Bluey.
Also, I barely even know shit about Bluey because it's past my time.
Which, okay, you don't know what it is. I do believe that, but then why do you have a channel for it in your server? And also, he says this.
And why is this channel full of gay sipping over the dad?
Who are you people?
Like, sure, bud. Let's pretend it's the dad people have an issue with. Spoiler alert, it's not. He also claims this.
Also, nothing, you went on a weird rant saying that I am commissioning art on my OC and doing NSOW acts. This is so stupid because all of my art on my OC are just fan art.
Which, if you literally search Nativefall in commission, the very first tweet is from showing their commission for Nativefall. What? Why does he make this point? It's so easily disprovable. He also mentions this.
And besides, she's an old-ass Chinese lady who sounds like Edna Mode.
What? The character you identify as is an old-ass Chinese lady that sounds like Edna Mode? Oh my god, you really are Midori!
This part almost seems like you made it out of jealousy because people like the simplistic design of my OC.
Which I'm not gonna call mine an OC, it's just an actual PNG of a real-life raccoon. I literally cannot be jealous that I don't get porn fan art like you, which I actually do get quite a lot of fan art. It's just not porn art. That's pretty much the key difference. And if I did get art like that, it wouldn't be of a character, it would be of a real life raccoon. That's literally fucked up. I'm sorry, Native. I'm not like you. I'm not actually into animals. I just think the raccoon is cute, okay? There's not really that much going into the psychology of it.
Actually, one of the first times I ran into a genuine terrible person.
And with that, I've said everything that could possibly be said. I've destroyed this guy, let's be real. As literally, no matter what he responds with, I do not care. He is clearly a proven liar. In fact, the only response I will accept from Native is I will allow him to make a diss track, okay? I'll engage, I'll make one back. But other than that, this dude can seriously fuck off. And it actually feels good to get this off of my chest because this is likely my final one of these type of videos. The only one I could see myself making is if I have to respond to Mr. Procrastination Station, and frankly, I have no clue what the status of that is. I'm done. So that's it. Thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe if you aren't subbed. You may be someone who previously hated me before, but you have to give me a little credit, especially if you made it to the end. My values throughout my entire career have been extremely consistent. In fact, I don't even remember that video Native source, but god damn does it make me look good. So yeah, drop a like, sub, and write your thoughts below. Are you Team Native or Team Sonic Show? And that's all. Lots of love. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
There was this post from Luke Station said that I sent him actual and I knew he was 16. And yes, I knew he was 16.
Certified Nativefall, certified pedophile.